Welcome back. 1 in 2 women will be a victim of sexual assault in their lifetime, and only 7% of those women will seek out support.
The Dublin Rape Crisis Centre's new campaign, Signs of Hope, aims to help more women find the courage to reach out for help. CEO of the Dublin Rape Crisis Centre, Rachel Morrogh, and survivor Ciara Mangan join us in studio to tell us more. Good morning, ladies. You're very welcome. Maybe before we get into the campaign and the work you've done with the Dublin Rape Crisis Centre, Ciara, would you mind telling us your story?
Yeah, sure. I'm a survivor of rape. I was raped at a house party by a colleague of mine. It was a drugged rape, and I was raped while I was going in and out of consciousness on a bathroom floor. And I think, you know, with my story, it resonates quite well with what's happening in France right now with Giselle Pellicot and, you know, the fact that she was unconscious as well. And I think that I would like to just speak to any survivor who is at home perhaps feeling as though, you know, they don't remember everything that happened to them, because that's what the perpetrator wanted. They wanted to erase your memory, and it puts a lot of self-doubt and worry into your head. And I just want survivors to know that if that is you, your story is not any less worthy or believable.
Thanks. The campaign itself, Rachel, is quite powerful, and survivors like Ciara being part of it is a massive, massive help.
It is, and thanks to Ciara for being involved in the campaign. We've teamed up with 8 survivors of sexual violence, both men and women, and they are sharing their message that they hope that people who haven't yet sought support, and you articulated the figures there, 8 in 10 people will seek no support after an experience of sexual violence. And I suppose Dublin Rape Crisis Centre couldn't stand by. Those figures were only published last year, and we just felt an urgency to try and reach those people and to encourage them to get support. But we also know that survivors of sexual violence look and seek out other survivors, and that's why we think it's the best course of action for those survivors to be fronting the campaign and to put forward their own message. What is it that they would like other survivors of sexual violence to hear and see? And I suppose the campaign is one of hope, that there's support out there, and you can heal after sexual violence if you get the right support and the right services. But we know, sadly, that many, many people are not.
So what exactly is the campaign? You might explain to the audiences. And actually, I'd love to know how the survivors reacted when you asked them to be a part of it.
Yeah, so the campaign is multimedia. So there's very large billboards all around Dublin, which you mentioned earlier. We also have some radio ads and a lot of activity on social media and on digital platforms as well. And the call to action to people is to reach out to the National Rape Crisis Helpline, and there's experienced counsellors at the end of the phone 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, and the number is 1800 77 88 88. And the campaign, again, is just encouraging people to reach out for that support that they really, really deserve. And Ciara mentioned that, you know, how difficult it is to make that first step, and that's for a range of reasons. The Central Statistics Office asks this question, and we know that people don't feel that they'll be believed, they're ashamed, they feel that they're in some way to blame themselves, and none of those things are true. So when you call the National Rape Crisis Helpline, you get a lot of support, you have empathy from somebody who really understands, you're believed, and your story is heard.
How long was it, Ciara, before you sought support?
10 months. Yeah.
10 months.
I suffered with it on my own for 10 months. And in that time, I just was in my room every day and going to work. But
you had to go to work the day after this attack?
Yeah, I did. Well, like I said earlier, you know, your memory is wiped. You go into PTSD, autopilot mode, trauma response, everything. And I did go into work. And then I suppose I was working in a place where they were joking about the rape. They were singing the songs and the
Singing
comments.
songs?
Yeah, rape songs. So they changed the words of songs to "I'm Shane Noonan and I love to rape women and it's so much fun" and all this kind of crap. So when you're that young and you're surrounded by so many people who are joking about what happened to you, you start to believe that it's true and that you're going crazy, that, you know, what happened wasn't serious. And maybe it's not serious. Why would I go and waste the time of the rape crisis centres if this is such a joke? And I said it in, you know, my court reports or whatever after the case. I genuinely felt brainwashed that this was not serious and I didn't deserve to take up time.
Yeah, you can't help but internalise, I suppose, how people are reacting.
Can I ask you, though, those people who were making those jokes and singing those songs, did they ever apologise to you?
One person, yeah.
One?
Yeah.
It's over 10 years since you were attacked, Ciara. Do you feel like society has changed in any way in their approach or discussion around sexual assault? Do you think basically what happened to you, the laughing and joking and singing, do you think that would happen today?
I think we're hearing the blasé comments from the younger generations, the way, you know, they talk about women. And I think that there's a lot of work left to do in that area. I think, you know, there was the Dublin Rape Crisis Centre, it was the We Consent campaign, they did research, and a shocking amount of males actually admitted rape, but they didn't think what they were doing was rape, or they thought what they were doing was consensual and it wasn't. That's how deeply ingrained it is. Like, and you know, I mean, there's just so much work left to do. I think the attitudes are a big problem. But to answer your question, I think, I don't think, I mean, I hope my story is rare. And, you know, what are rape songs? But that happened to me and I just hope that it would never happen again.
Well, the way you were treated is shameful on those who treated you like that.
Yeah.
Especially, but of course, this case went to court. The person who attacked you was convicted.
Yeah, one person was convicted.
Okay. So how does it, like, what appealed to you to be involved in this campaign then?
Well, for me, hope is what got me through. Hope is so important. It's what got me through the 10 years up until I got justice. It got me through the 5-year court procedure because my court case was during COVID and then there was cancellations and postponements and all that. And then hope is what's got me on this couch today. And I feel really proud to be in this place, and I'm so privileged to be able to share that hope and extend it to other survivors, because they are in a place of hopelessness. You know, it's sad, it's lonely, it's isolating, and it's shameful, and there's lots of doubt and self-blame. And I've been there, we all start there. But with hope and determination and support, you can get to a much better place.
This campaign, through people like Ciara, we're going to see more of these posters, and hopefully spread across the country. But it does open doors for other people to now feel as if they can come forward and get the help from the Rape Crisis Centre.
That's right, and that it's never too late as well. It took Ciara 10 months to reach out for support, but if we've learned anything from the history of this country, it can take years and years for people to come forward with that fear that they won't be believed because they've been told by their abuser that they won't be and it's their fault. But our message is that you are going to a place where you will be heard, you will be believed, and we want to help. And maybe it'll just be one call and then you hang up the phone, but you've told someone what happened, and there's some catharsis in that. Yes. But maybe you need more support, and we can organise counselling and therapy and other support services that are out there. So our message is that it's never too late. When you're ready to talk, we're here to listen.
Ciara and Rachel, thank you so much for coming and chatting to us this morning.
Thank you.
For more information on the Signs of Hope campaign, you can visit drcc.ie. And if any of the issues that we have discussed have affected you, you can visit virginmediatelevision.ie/helplines.